making six figures was like,
I'm basically sort of starting over.
and I'm not sure if I've ever been in love.
You give less fucks when you get to a certain age. So
I feel like those people are full of shit.
Hi friends, welcome back into another episode of FrenzOnFrenz.
Hi friends, welcome back everybody.
The other day a friend of mine called me and we were talking about just life, catching up on things and stuff. And at the end of the conversation, she said to me, you know, my life didn't turn out how I thought it would at this age. And it had me thinking, if I were to go back in time and visit my 20-year-old self to give an update about where things are now or how things are going now, what would her reaction be? I have about 4 things on my list of updates that I would want to give to her. So we'll do 4 each and then take it from there.
Yeah. I'm about to tell on myself. 20-year-old me.
You want to go first?
How about you?
Oh, dear. Okay. I'll start on a positive. So I would say that I think she would be happy to know that at some point in my life, I accomplished or achieved what would be considered the American dream. I owned a home. I still have a nice car. And, you know, my career goals and stuff, check. It is sort of a testament to everything that I set my mind to do or everything that I set out to achieve. I did. And I think she'd be happy to know that I did that.
Okay, snaps to you. You know, 20-year-old me was very inspired and looking forward to a lot of things that, boy, I'm not inspired anymore. So I guess I'm going to try to be positive also. 20-year-old me was very optimistic about my career path.
Okay.
And I mean, I would say that I got to one of my goals, which when I was 20, like making 6 figures, it seemed impossible. Like, wow, how can you make 6 figures? That's like, you know what I mean? I would be looking at jobs that was like $40,000. I was like, how are you going to get that? And so definitely from a career standpoint, I definitely got to the place of making 6 figures and of being, I guess, large and in charge in some way. And so she would be proud to know that because at that time, that chica was like, wow, I was so enamored by that. And so, yeah, from a career standpoint, I think the things that I set out to achieve career-wise, I definitely did achieve those things. And, you know, I'm proud of that. And she would be proud of that. But at the same time, you know, it all went to shit too.
I think my 20-year-old self would be surprised to know that I'm basically sort of starting over at this stage in the game. Now, I'm fully aware or I fully understand that starting over in and of itself at any age is okay. But me at 20 would not have imagined that after so many years of building and, you know, checking off things off of the boxes that I would be starting anew. As I had mentioned, I sold my home. So now I'm trying to figure out where I really want to like plant my feet. So I feel like in some respects, I'm kind of back at square one. I'm back at square one with experience. So it's, you know, it bad and not so bad, if that makes sense.
Okay. I would say that 20-year-old me was a huge romantic. And I think that she thought one of the greatest experiences in life was to have like a great love, a huge love. And, you know, she was looking forward to it. And I would say what I would tell her today is that while, I mean, I still love a great rom-com, don't get me wrong. I think that I'm just not as romantic as I was then. I feel as though my outlook on love and relationships today has sort of like
It's taken a turn.
Yeah. I feel as though I'm looking back at even my past experiences and I'm not sure if I've ever been in love or experienced love. I'm not sure. And I'm not sure that I ever will. I just feel like maybe the people who, you know, have those lovey-dovey, I don't fit the profile. I don't fit the profile at all. I would say I've just become more opinionated, not even just cynical, just I'm more of an opinionated person. And I think that my personality has become more bold, which means that I am probably a lot more to take in. While I was never truly a passive person, I've always been opinionated in some respect. Younger me was a little bit more passive than I am today. And today I'm going to tell you exactly what I think. And I think that makes me just a bigger personality, especially in today's climate. It just seems like there's not a lot of patience, or if you're not easygoing and I don't know, people are just not for you. I am more career focused. I'm more focused on creating things for myself more than creating an environment that welcomes, I guess, someone else.
That's interesting. I don't see where someone would think that you're too much. I sometimes wonder if you even really wanted any type of romance, like for real, for real. You know, I always say like you live in a fairy tale.
Yes.
Dalios life.
Everybody who has listened to the podcast has heard you in some way,
Yes.
call me Princess Polly.
First of all, you called yourself that, and I just ran with it. I just ran with it. You called yourself that, miss, so don't put that on me. But so I would argue, right? I would argue that your idea of this romance, big thing was based on like just this fairy tale situation. But if you were really real with yourself, you would probably have realized that's probably not something that you want. Whatever your viewpoint on any aspect of relationship, then you sort of always revert back to but career. I think maybe that because you see that in the movies and because that's a fairy tale Dalio situation, that was probably what's influencing 20-year-old Shalaywah, and not that's what 20-year-old Shalaywah really wanted. Just my take.
I've always been very career focused though, but I thought, like I said, 20-year-old me in being career focused also thought about the possibility of experiencing a great love.
20-year-old Bella would be surprised to learn that she is finding motherhood so damn challenging. It's just, and we've spoken about this before, it's one of them things where nobody can really prepare you for how challenging this is, because 20-year-old me was the type of person where anything she put her mind to, she got it done.
Okay.
Feeling like I'm failing at this on the daily is a tough pill to swallow. And I think if I went back and told her like, yo, you're not doing well, she would be like, really? But and I also don't think that is unique to me. I think if you probably take a poll, most moms would say like, yeah, man, I feel like I'm not up to standard on most days. I've never had something that I set out to do, or anything at all that I take on and not master it. And I'm not mastering this.
But are you willing to consider, though, that mom mode is the mode that always feels that way, but it isn't that you are failing? I think
maybe, yeah. I'm not.
Because I
want to shake the feeling, B. This is why I said my son's healthy. We're doing okay. He's doing good. He's thriving. So clearly I'm doing something right. Yes.
I think you're doing many things right.
Right. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. But it still feels like every day is a struggle, B.
I think that what's good about a conversation and the conversations that you've had about it, because I feel as though one of the lies that we're told is really truly that motherhood is like this amazing, and it's not I'm not saying that it's terrible, but it's this thing where moms are always feeling like they're thriving. And maybe the baseline for moms is that they feel like I'm failing even though they're doing a good job. And maybe, so you weren't prepared for that because it's never really talked about in that way. People talk about it in a very aspirational way. And it's just like, it's amazing, but you're not gonna always feel it that it's amazing.
Yeah, they do speak about how amazing being a mom is, and there's truth in that, yes. But nobody talks about the other side of it, that, how challenging it is, or you feel that you are not doing a good job or whatever. Like that part isn't spoken about a lot. And not to say also that there aren't moms who are like, running in fields of lilies and it's just happy times all the time for them and their experience. I've just not been experiencing that. And I don't know any mother who has experienced that. But I don't want to speak for
I feel like those people are full of shit and they're perpetrating a fraud. I'm sorry.
I don't want to speak for all moms because I don't know all moms. So I can only speak to my experience and the experiences of women that I know. And it's difficult. Me as a person, my personality is that anything that I put my mind to do, I am able to master it at some point. Right? I'm only 3 years in, going on 4. So, maybe this feeling I will shake it at some point. I don't know.
20-year-old me thought that I was going to live in another country eventually. That's not this country, and like really travel more because I love to travel and I have traveled, right? Like I've been to some extraordinary places. If you'd have told me that I would have seen an aurora sky in Iceland, I would have said, really? And I have, so I've definitely traveled a lot. We've traveled together. Viva la España.
Oh, I was about to say, did we?
We did. Excuse me. You forgot?
A split second. For a split second.
Again, we have traveled, but I would like to travel way more. I would like to, I've always wanted to experience another culture. Like, what would it be like if I lived, I don't know, in Switzerland or, just somewhere completely different. And for somebody who has always been interested in that kind of stuff, I've just remained terribly still. I think 20-year-old me, who in the back of my mind always wanted to travel more, would be excited to think about all the places that I've traveled to, but also would be a little bit surprised that I've been as still as I have been. I've spent more time in the US than I have traveling. And I want it to be the inverse, where I've spent more time traveling than I've been in the US. So
interesting. So when you say you want to live somewhere else, like live and not return to the US, or live for a lengthy period of time and then maybe pop back in at some point?
Probably live for a period of time and come back, but just to have,
No, I get it.
Those experiences would be really great.
Last one for me is that I think the 20-year-old version of myself would be in utter shock that some of the family ties and bonds that she once had are now broken. I'm from a very close-knit family.
Yeah.
And so if you had told me that, some of the people who I was super close with years back, that we wouldn't be as close now or even communicating, I think she would be in complete disbelief. Sometimes for your own peace of mind and for creating a peaceful, non-toxic environment to exist in, it requires separation. However difficult that might be, sometimes it's just absolutely necessary,
And I mean, at the end of the day, I think you should be proud of that. Not that the bonds are not as strong or they've broken, but that you were brave enough to take a step back from those relationships if they were not serving you or if they were bringing toxicity or negativity to your life. There are a lot of people who sit in negativity and it causes them to have incredible stagnation. And I think it takes immense bravery to be able to say, this isn't working and I'm not going to sit in this relationship, family or otherwise.
To be clear, I don't feel any type of way for the decision I've made or decisions I have made, but it is tough. It's people that you love.
I'll just say, for the benefit of people who might be younger listening to this, I know that things aren't turning out the way that optimistic us said, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a silver lining to, I guess, growing up and getting older. There is a silver lining, and there's also like something great about when you're 19, 20, whatever, being so aspirational about what it's going to be like when you get to a certain point in your life. But I think, adulting is challenging. I think we don't say more of that to young people. And also, like, when you're super young, I think that, I don't know, like me at 20 also thought that my parents had it all together. And I think as you get older, what you recognize is that at every stage of your life, you are doing the best you can with whatever the situation is and whatever you have. And so as long as you keep that mantra true to yourself, that like you're gonna just do at every level, you're going to do the best you can with whatever life throws at you, I think you'll end up being a-okay. So if you're a young person listening, it's going to be all right. What advice would you give to any young people listening about, you know, where they are right now and what maybe they have to look forward to or not to look forward to in life as they get older?
You give less fucks when you get to a certain age. So like I think I've always had a baseline of not necessarily caring about what other people thought. And when you get older, I think you care less about perception and it's freeing. What advice would you give, Chatterbox Betty?
Don't let people tell you you're a chatterbox. You know what I would say? What would I say to young people? I think at the end of the day, when you are young, try to figure out what it is that you're about and what makes you happy so that you can start to work on those things young. Because I think if there is something that I regret, is that younger me was afraid to really, truly stand up and go after the things that really make me sing and that made me really happy. I think I was very much so wanting to fall in line and to do what was expected of me rather than doing what I wanted to do. And I think oftentimes, especially people who are like trying to figure out what's their passion and what they should be doing career-wise, you'll find that you are actually highly proficient at the things that you enjoy doing. And what we've learned, especially from the creator economy that has become so popularized right now, is that following your bliss can be great. And also doing the things you love can actually lead to opportunities.
Solid advice for all the things that didn't turn out the way that we thought. Where do you go from here?
What I do next is continue to keep trying and to welcome all opportunities that come to my way. Like have a year of yes, trying new things, doing new things, and stop judging myself for things not turning out the way that I anticipated, and I guess go with the flow.
You learn from the experiences that you've had, and you use that to guide you in how you move forward through life. We encourage everybody to live, embrace life, accept the challenges, learn the lessons, and just know, like, in the end, it's going to be fine. It's all going to work out how it's supposed to.
Thank you so much for listening, guys. Don't forget to rate the podcast, follow us on all the socials at FrenzOnFrenz, and leave a comment. Let us know what you think of this conversation. Also, we're always looking for new ideas for the podcast. So if there's something that you think that would be really fun for us to have a conversation about, please drop it down below. Until next time, bye, guys.
Bye.